To start this presentation off, we're going to talk about this woman right here. Samaya Lawberg, an ex-Ball State student. She was able to get her EMT license, but since of that EMT license, she got addicted to popping pills. She was also a verbally and a physical abuser to these children right here. She was using pills for substance abuse, abusing 2 children, and constantly not taking care of them. That was for a solid 3 years in a row. Until this man, right here, Anthony Mayberry, my father, who took care of me and my brother because he arrested my mother, took her to prison, while at the same time trying to divorce her. But the court cases were put to the side. One was put to the side. It was the custody case, for the fact that they were waiting for her case to be finished before they made the final decision of who would get custody of the 2 children. My father gave evidence of my mom being physically unstable to raise 2 children, and the judges were still leaning towards her about the fact that only for the fact that she had the motherly bond for her children, which I cannot agree with. So today we're talking about how the court system needs to change how they deal with custody battles and not only focus on the mother is a more parentally stable, more of a parental figure than the father. It should be 50-50 based on what they can do. So, right here, the National Center for Health Statistics states that nearly 75% of all children in custody are awarded towards the mother. About only 10% of the child custody awards are towards the father, and the rest of the percentage is involved in joint custody in the arrangement. So only 10% of fathers that get full custody, while the other 75 is targeted towards the mother. Now, this is because of the tender years doctrine. It was introduced in the 19th century as a common English law principle that mothers should automatically have custody of their young children in the event of a divorce. This was from the ages of 0 to 4, just because she was the mother. No other reason, because they thought that the father would not be able to practice as well as a parent. Now, it was abolished in America, but around 13 states are still using the idea and pushing that the mother should automatically have custody for their young children because they're the mother, for no other reason. Let's talk about children that grow up without fathers. They're more likely to be aggressive, more likely to be depressed, more likely to have low self-esteem, and more likely to do poorly in school. These students are also more likely to be incarcerated, more likely to use drugs, and more likely to commit suicide. So how come 75% of children are sent to mothers when children are more likely to be depressed, lower self-esteem without their father? But the court says they need their mother. Doesn't make as much sense to me. Now, there are ways after the mother has already gotten custody in the court that she can lose the custody battle. It has to be a history of child abuse, a history of substance abuse, and a history of domestic violence. Now, my mother had all three of those, and the court was still leaning towards her until she got convicted and guilty for driving under the influence and stealing from a CVS. Now, how come they say that she would lose custody for all these things, but the court still leaned towards her? Doesn't make any sense.